First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone today and thank y'all for being here. There's some special thanks before we get started that I'd like to do, if you don't mind. I'd like to have a special thanks here to the ladies in the county mayor's office with their help here with the refreshments that we're going to be having here after the ceremony. Also, the MFD, Murfreesboro Fire Department staff as well. A lot of hard work went with those individuals. Also, I'd like to thank a special thanks to the Rutherford County maintenance employees. Without those guys yesterday, this event may not have happened. Also, I'd like to thank Laurie Alsop and Rick Hall. They, along with myself, were the three members here. That was kind of a committee that kind of put this thing together and to raise the money and do some of the things today. And I'd like to thank those two individuals for their help. Also, at this time, I'd like to recognize some elected and appointed officials that are here. I think Senator Tracy is here. I've seen him a while ago. I think Representative Joe Carr, he told me he was coming. I haven't seen him yet. And Representative Rick Womack. County Mayor Burgess is here. City Mayor Bragg is here. I know Mayor Sena Mosley is here from Laverne. I see her police chief is here. From Laverne, Ted Boyd. From City Council member Doug Young is here. I think he's the only council member I've seen that's here today. County commissioners that I've seen come in, Shantos Sereno and Robert Stevens, Rhonda Allen, Matt Young, Jeff Jordan. I myself am also a county commissioner, and I hope I didn't overlook anybody else that's not county commissioner. Also, Chief Cumming Gaines and his staff with the Murfreesboro Fire Department is here. Chief Larry Farley, the Rutherford County Fire Chief, is here. The Chief of Almaville Volunteer Fire Department, Mark Bricker, is here. Chief of Las Casas, Trey Nunley. The Murfreesboro Police Department, your staff is here. I want to thank y'all. Chief of Rockville, Mike Walls. The Chief of Fosterville Volunteer Fire Department, Steve Walker. And I hope I have not missed anyone. If I have, I apologize. And if you would raise your hand if you're a chief or elected official. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll get started with our ceremony. The question is, why are we here today? We are here to honor 3 firefighters that gave the ultimate sacrifice. That's why we're here today, ladies and gentlemen. In November 2009, Laurie Alsop discovered through a conversation with Mr. Vaughn that there was a monument on the square honoring law enforcement officers who were killed in the line of duty. Winfred said his uncle's name, Sam Vaughn, was on that monument. Laurie came by here at the courthouse to see the monument, and then she went to Fire Chief Cumming Gaines and expressed her desire to establish a monument for the Murfreesboro Fire Department's fallen firefighters. Chief Gaines suggested that the monument should include Rutherford County fallen heroes and that she work with me since I served on the county commission. Laura and I worked together along with former county commissioner Rick Hall, which is here today, to raise money for the monument and to design the monument for Rutherford County and the families of the fallen firefighters would be proud of. And truly, I really believe that you will be proud of this today once you see it. This process has taken about a year, and we're proud to unveil this today. I'd also like to thank those people and those companies that made a donation to this fallen firefighter memorial. Heritage Farms here in Rutherford County, Pro Fire Equipment, which is located around Memphis, NAVCO, which is North Alabama Fire Equipment, the Murfreesboro Firefighters Association, Las Casas Volunteer Fire Department, Rutherford Volunteer Fire Department, Firehouse Fellowship Ministries of Laverne, Rutherford Fire Chiefs Association, and also the Smyrna Firefighters made donations. And also I'd like to thank Rutherford County for actually donating the land out here which this monument is going to stand. I would also like to thank Mark Tidwell of Roselawn Memorial Gardens, and Mark is in attendance today, for working with us on the design and also the installation of this monument. Rutherford County has suffered the loss of 3 firefighters in the line of duty. On March the 1st, 1939, the Murfreesboro Fire Department was responding to an alarm when the fire truck collided with a pickup truck at the corner of Spring Street and Lionel Street. Winfred Vaughn and A.C. Cartwright lost their lives that afternoon. Winfred Vaughn was a 36-year-old gentleman and was a 13-year veteran of the department. A.C. Cartwright was 22 years old and had been employed with the department for almost 3 years. On September the 5th, 2002, the Almaville Volunteer Fire Department was responding to a brush fire in a tanker truck when the truck veered off Almaville Road and crashed. Jason Jackson Hampton was killed in that crash that day. Jason had just graduated from Smyrna High School a few months before and had just joined the U.S. Army. And Jason was scheduled to attend basic training on September the 18th of that year. These firefighters made the ultimate sacrifice for the love of their community. Today we honor their memory and all other firefighters nationwide who have made that ultimate sacrifice. We hope we never ever have to add another name to this monument out here. We hope and pray that. But if we do, it's going to be there to honor their memory. I'm also sad today to notify you that we were not able to locate anyone from the Hampton family at this time. But at this time, I would like to ask the family members of firefighters A.C. Cartwright and Winfred Vaughn family to please come up to the podium and introduce your family members. And if you'd like to say a few words, we would like for you to do that.
Thank you for such a wonderful day and honoring our family and the other families of the fallen. It's hard to hold back these tears, something like this, but our daddy died when I was just 8 or 9 months old, and Bubba was born about 3 or 4 months later. We have a discrepancy there. I say it's 9 and 3 months. He says it's 8 and 4, but we always argue. So anyway, it's a wonderful day. Thanks to everybody he has named. Goodness, I know Laurie and Rick have really worked on this. And I'd like to also just take a moment and say we had a mother, and she became mother and daddy to us. And I see part of our family out there, and when Mama became Mama and Daddy, our families on both sides, my dad's side and my mother's side, rushed to rescue us. Back then, there was no pensions or anything like that, and so thank God we had family. And to all the people who serve in the cities and politicians, and Jim Tracy, I'm in love with you. You know, so he knows that. You know, there's never been a problem with that. So thank you again. I do want to say I have Dad's badge. It's in my pocket here somewhere. That when I read the poem outside today, they've asked me before to give them a copy of it to put in the fire hall, and I'm going to have a nice copy and a shadow box and his badge. This is his badge, put in the shadow box. Years ago, Gordon Lynch got the couple things off of the fire truck before they sold it, and one was a thing that said Murfreesboro Fire Department, and Bubba has that, and he will donate that also to the fire department. Well, I've honored my daddy in a lot of words on books and pages, but my brother honored him with what counts, and that's family, and he's going to introduce his family.
Thank you, sister. There's an adage that says that the best laid plans of mice are men. Today, there were supposed to be 4 generations here. Unfortunately, yesterday afternoon we got home, our great-grandson, which would have been my dad's great-great-grandson, Braxton has a severe ear infection. And our granddaughter, his mother, of course, had to stay with him. Nancy and I have been blessed with 3 children, Wynn and Cindy and David, and with 5 grandchildren, and as I've mentioned, our 1 great-grandson. I want to, along with my sister, I want to thank all of you who had a special part in today's activities, especially Laurie also, and all of the committee members that served to make today possible. I would like to thank the Murfreesboro firefighters for the job that they do and for the sacrifices they make each time they are called upon. And each time they are called upon, they certainly are put in harm's way. And we appreciate and love you so much. And before I go any further, and I didn't intend to leave him out, one of our sons-in-law, Kent, is here today also. I never had the opportunity to know my dad except through family members and friends that as when I was growing up, they would share stories with me about my dad. This is an emotional time for me, and I'm going to cut it off very quickly. I want to close with these remarks, though. I am sure we have all had special moments and days in our lives that have brought great joy to us. Today is one of those special days that has touched my heart deeply and will be remembered for the rest of my life. Thank you for the honor given to my dad and the joy and love you have given to me and to my family. And may God continue to bless each and every one of you for the rest of your lives. Thank you.
My name is Tim Woodruff. This is my wife, Bonnie. A.C. Cartwright would have been my great uncle. I don't know anything about him because I wasn't around, of course, when all this happened, but his sister, Blanche Cartwright Woodruff, was my grandmother. And she did talk about him, but of course, since he did pass at such a young age, we never did really hear a lot about A.C.
Thank y'all for giving such a heartfelt dedication to your father and your uncle. At this time, I'd like to call on Mayor Bragg with the City of Murfreesboro to give something he'd like to speak to people about.
On behalf of our council, certainly Councilmember Young, who is here, and our city, we certainly applaud and appreciate the sacrifice that these family members have made and that they exemplify today. And let me say this, lots of times, and certainly in the most recent history, we kind of fuss about government. We kind of fuss about where our taxes go. We kind of fuss about who serves us in many ways. But these firefighters and all of our emergency workers and all of our employees of our city and our county work for us daily. They're on the front line. And I think you can tell by this sacrifice that has been mentioned today and will be memorialized a little bit later that these people go out of their way to serve us. And I would say also that many of your tax dollars, if you are mindful of that, go to the resources and to the training and to the equipment that the taxpayers have provided to make sure that we hopefully don't have these types of events that happen for those who serve us today. It has taken the sacrifice of those who have passed to show us that it is very important to all of us that we provide the equipment and the resources and the training to those who serve us today, whether they be firefighters on the front line or the police officers or those who, as I say in the city, it's our job to pick up the trash. It's our job to make a sign so the road is safer. I think all of us have learned by experience that some things that we do in government are important and are meaningful and make our world safer for all of us. So again, I know that this sacrifice you have made has certainly had a profound effect on your families, but it also extends to your extended family, who are those who work for the cities and the counties, those who make the supplies, who make the resources, and who make everything possible for us today. So we certainly bow our heads for a moment to thank you for your presence today for this memorial, which will be so meaningful for us, for the county that's provided us the wonderful stewardship that we have across Rutherford County, and how much it means to us to have these folks who work with us every day sacrifice, take out of their times and away from their families for what you have done. But we appreciate you. We thank you very much for being here, for sharing with us, and for being a part of this ceremony. I know it's painful and it's hard. It's painful for all of us, but we share that sorrow and sadness with you and look forward to a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Bragg. At this time, I'd like to call on Mayor Burgess to read a proclamation for the dedication of the monument that we're fixing to unveil. Mayor Burgess.
Thank you very much, Gary and Laurie and Rick, for making this possible and making it happen. I think Mayor Bragg expressed very well our appreciation for all of those in public safety that have made this county and all of our jurisdictions, all of our cities, so great. I mean, that's one of the things that really makes me proud to be a part of what happens in Rutherford County. So on behalf of Rutherford County and all of its citizens and our commissioners and some of those that are here, I just want to say I'm honored, I'm humbled to be a part of this ceremony. And to those families, the Vaughn family and the Cartwright family and the Hampton family who's not with us, I express again my personal thanks for those people in your family, these individuals that we're recognizing that had within them that most and many of all of our public safety people have a certain spirit of caring and compassion, a certain spirit of being willing to sacrifice and give something to others because they love their fellow man and they love their community, and I'm just honored to be a part of that. I'm also, in a special way, very related, you might say, to Winfred Vaughn. We graduated from high school together just a few years ago, but we could tell them, we're not ashamed of it, that it was in 1957. So he was a great young man, and we had some good times together. It just seems like yesterday, but I'm just honored to be a part of this and to be a part of this county that will allow something like this to happen. And it will help us forever to continue to remember how important it is for all of these people to continue to provide these services and put themselves at risk to protect all of us. And I think that's really the wonderful thing about living here in this great county and really in this great state and country. So Gary, on behalf of all of the citizens of Rutherford County, I have this proclamation to honor fallen firefighters. It says, whereas firefighters play an essential role in the protection of lives and property in our local community, and whereas too many firefighters have fallen while protecting the public, and we appreciate these noble individuals and acknowledge that others like them will continue to unselfishly make sacrifices in order to safeguard that which we hold dear. And whereas on Thursday, January the 20th, 2011, the Rutherford County Fallen Firefighter Memorial will be dedicated on the northwest side of the public square at the historic Rutherford County Courthouse. And whereas the memorial will recognize the following heroes for their ultimate sacrifice: Fireman Winfred Vaughn and A.C. Cartwright of the Murfreesboro Fire Department, Jason Jackson Hampton of the Amaville Volunteer Fire Department. Therefore, I, Ernest G. Burgess, Mayor of Rutherford County, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim January the 20th, 2011, to be a day of recognition and appreciation for our fallen heroes in Rutherford County, Tennessee, and call upon all of our citizens to remember all firefighters who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community and to pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes. Thank you very, very much.
Before we go outside, I want to say something. I want to personally, on behalf of every firefighter, present and future, thank you for your daddy and for your uncle for what they did, and they paved the way for the future, for their dedication. Thank you. At this time, we'll go ahead and adjourn this here inside. And we'll give a few minutes here for the cameras to go outside and set up, and then we'll have a nice presentation and unveiling out here on the side of the courthouse. First thing I'd like to do, I'd like to introduce to you all, you've already heard from her, but we want you to hear from her again, is Miss Maggie Vaughn. She's a state Tennessee poet laureate, and she's the daughter of the fallen firefighter, Winfred Vaughn, and she's going to read a poem she wrote about her father.
Thank you so much. As Bubba said, you know, our memories of our daddy are other people's memories that they've told us. And I've met so many people that have told me the nurse that was at the hospital in the emergency room when they brought him in, the lady who told me she owned the house where they laid him out on the carriage step. So many stories that have been told to Bubba and myself, and what a wonderful day this has been. This is called Daddy Was a Pronoun. We called him Daddy sometimes, but mostly he was a pronoun. He was there in an old photo, his shotgun, his pocket watch, his fireman's hat with the metal emblem of the Murfreesboro Fire Department. Bubba was the spitting image of him, born 4 months after his death. I saw him for 9 months, but I don't remember him. Mama said I first called him Daddy when she took me up to the coffin. Then Mama might have lied. She had a flair for the dramatic when she was directing life's play. Mama threw away his fireman's hat when moss got into it. I have the metal emblem that was pinned to the front that says Murfreesboro Fire Department. Bubba has his pocket watch, and Mama sold his shotgun where a spider set up housekeeping in the barrel. Mama kept a scrapbook with clippings of his death due to the accident in the fire truck. Somewhere there's an old spiral maroon guest book where they came to pay respects. Now and then, Bubba and I visit his grave and read his name chiseled in stone. But we never knew Winfred Vaughn, except as a pronoun. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call on Mayor Bragg, Mayor Burgess, and the Murfreesboro Fire Department Honor Guard to unveil our monument recognizing these 3 individuals for their ultimate sacrifice.
Present arms. Ordered arms. Ready, face. Forward, march. We're done, sir. Let's move this back.
I'd like to thank you again for coming At this time, we will go ahead and dismiss. Inside the courthouse, we've got refreshments, and we'd like for everyone to stay and have some refreshments with us and meet some of the family members here. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good day. Thank you.